everyone, it's Max and welcome to a new week's reading vlog. I am starting this vlog on Tuesday because I spent Monday, Labor Day, doing a 24-hour readathon where I finished, I hope, 4 books. I am currently still in this readathon, but I'm home alone and it's light out, so I thought I would start this vlog. So if something has changed, I will put that clip in of explaining what book I'm actually on. But this week, I am planning on a queer fantasy week. So I have 3 books on my TBR. The first one is my audiobook, which is A Lesson in Vengeance. Again, I'll put a clip of like a better explanation because I haven't started it yet. But I know it has to do with a boarding school and I think like a Wiccan group who killed our main character's girlfriend, or like something happened to this main character's girlfriend. She's trying to figure out what happened. I've seen it everywhere. I haven't seen like anyone who's read it, but I'm really hoping to enjoy it. And this went towards the magical readathon prompt to read A Dark Academia. It's one of the last 3 like prompts where it's not part of the actual map, like you don't have to read them this month, but +7 of the actual map that rounds out to a nice even 10, which I like to have 10 books on my TBR, so I am including those. The first physical book on my TBR is Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. And this goes towards a magical readathon like extra prompt to read a book with red on the cover. It's either a crow or red, but I do not have like any books with crows on the cover, so I'm doing red. And this is about a thief who is hired to steal 6 magical artifacts for this king, but they find out that the 6 artifacts are actually people, and they all team up together. One of the top tags is that this is like LGBT, so I don't know if it's lesbian, I don't know if it's gay, I don't know if it's trans, I don't know like how like that factors in, but I'm really excited. This was the December Fairy Loot, which I didn't get it in the December Fairy Loot, but it definitely like clued me into the book. I haven't heard anyone read it, but the synopsis sounds really fun. The back just says, "Welcome to the Queen City, a terrible place to live, an excellent place to die." So sounds good. And then the other book on my TBR doesn't actually go towards any prompts for anything. I just recently got it. It just got really windy, but I just recently got it and I really want to read it, and that's The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. And this is about a princess and a maid who both have been kind of like down on their luck and treated really terribly, and I think they team up to like destroy the kingdom. It's really short, the synopsis, so I'm just gonna read it. Trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Malini dreams of vengeance. Forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past, maidservant Priya dreams of freedom. In a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising, their destinies will become irrevocably tangled. And together, they will set the empire ablaze. Reagan from Prue's Project just had a reading vlog about this. I like started it, but then decided like I shouldn't watch that before I read this because I don't want it to influence how I feel about it. But I did watch her August wrap up and she did seem to overall really enjoy it. But it's sapphic and I just really, really hope to love it. But that is all I have for you right now because it is Monday. I'm still in this 24-hour readathon, but really hoping to read these 2. I am about to start The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Magic, or Wizardry, which is also queer. So if I am still reading it after the 24-hour readathon, because it is almost 400 pages and it's currently like 210, okay, 210, and I've got like a lot of, like a few things to do after this and maybe a evening of some stress. We'll see if I'm able to finish it. But overall, that's all I got for you. Tuesday is gonna be a nightmare, gonna be honest. The day after Labor Day, one of the people, like, so my job is very, like, immediate, like it needs to be done immediately, and so one of the order desk people who I work with is taking Tuesday off as well. And then my other order desk person is not going to be in the office. She's going to be working remotely, which can bring up a whole other set of issues. I think it's gonna be a nightmare because it's also super, super busy because the weekends are always busy and then an extra holiday. It's just gonna be a nightmare. So that's why I thought I'd start the vlog today because I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to like talk to you tomorrow because I have a feeling I'll be doing some overtime and just being tired and sad and hopefully reading, but maybe not updating you. But I'll talk to you when I have time and when I've read something. Bye. Hi guys, it is 10:40 on Tuesday And I was not able to finish the Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry yesterday. Didn't even start it. Yesterday evening was pretty hectic and a little bit anxiety inducing, so I just decided to hold this off to this week. But I am now 213 pages in, and it's going okay. I'm not loving it. It's pretty average. So it's these two girls plus some more people are bodyguards to this woman while she's like on her way to like marry her husband, or like is in seclusion until the wedding or something. And she is someone is trying to kill her, and they are now hunting that person. It's going okay. The romance was very fast. Like it just happened really, really fast, and all of a sudden they're basically now like engaged, and I'm like, you just met each other. So I'm having a really hard time with that, but overall it's going okay. Definitely not enjoying it as much as Unnatural Magic by a long run, but overall it's fine. It does still go with my week of reading queer fantasy, very much a highlight on sapphic romance. But yeah, I did finish a book today already. I finished A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. And this was about a girl who was coming back to school after her girlfriend died. And she was really involved, our main character was really involved with witchcraft and the study of it. And she truly believes in it. She thinks that's the reason why her girlfriend is dead. But now she is trying, getting in with this whole new group of people who are somewhat interested in that as well. Especially one girl who is a prodigy author who is really interested in murder. It was good. There were some parts of it that I was just like, oh my god, I feel like she didn't do herself any favors. She acted crazy and people think she's crazy. But the plot to it, there was a plot twist, and that was really good. And so I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the writing a lot. I did like our characters, but I felt like our main character was she just made it too easy sometimes for people to find her crazy. But yeah, I do suggest the audiobook. The audiobook was really, really good. So that's all I've got for you tonight, honestly. It's 10:40, so I think I'm going to try and read some more. I have 160 pages left. I might just leave that till tomorrow and then try and give myself 2 days to read Master of One and 2 days to read The Jasmine Throne, because then that'll take me to the end of the week. Fingers crossed we can make that happen. But my definite priorities are Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry and Master of One. So if I can't get to Jasmine Throne, it's a bummer, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go because my light is dying, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Good night. Hi guys, it is Thursday and I am at my office, but I did finish The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry last night, or yesterday afternoon, honestly. But then we had people over for dinner and then I went to sleep, so I did not update you. It was okay. I liked the second half a lot more than the first half, but it honestly just felt all over the place. Like, the two storylines did not really connect very well, and it just kind of seemed like it just didn't seem very cohesive. So I did end up giving it a 3.25 out of 5 stars, because the romance also felt really rushed. I wasn't like, it didn't invest me, and it just kind of sucks. It was a little bit of a bummer, a little bit of a letdown after the first book that had like such a great storyline and such great main characters, and this one just kind of really fell flat. So 3.25 out of 5 stars, a little bit of a bummer. But I am going to pick up Master of One now, which is about a person, I don't know if it's a human or a fae, who is hired by a king to collect 6 fae relics, and it turns out those 6 fae relics are people, and I think they all team up to take down this king. I haven't heard like anything about it. It was the December Fairy Loot, but that does not tell me anything, because Fairy Loot and like any book box I have found can be hit or miss, but I am hoping to really enjoy it. And then the Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry went towards one of the 3 extra prompts, urban, because it definitely took place in cities. And then Master of One goes towards the creature that I want to be. That's like a vegan or a vegetarian vampire, basically, because I think they look like vampires, but they don't drink blood. And that is to read a book with either a crow on the cover or a red cover. Master of One has a red cover. So yeah, that's all I've got for you. And then I will check back in once I've made progress on Master of One. Hi guys, it's like 12:40, and I am 70 pages into Master of One, and I'm enjoying it. It is going faster than I expected, especially for a book that's over 500 pages. I also need to check if this is a series, because if it's a standalone, different story. But I'm enjoying it. So far our main character Rags has been taken by like the Queen's Guard, and he has been set on this like path by this magician to get him to like, I don't know, this like other plane to like train or like to be taught like how to get these relics, and he's been put under a binding where he's basically gonna die at the end of this. And he has to go through like, I don't know, I think it's like 12 doors basically, and like 12 tests to get to this plane, because it's not created yet. Like he asked the magician, he's like, why aren't you just at the end? And he's like, I can't, like the fact that like by going through the doors, he's creating this place, and so he can't like just skip to the end. But it's interesting. I think they're supposed to be getting like more and more difficult, but honestly, he's like, it feels like he's just flying through them. Like he's already halfway through the doors, and like that plus the introduction and everything has taken up 70 pages. I would have expected it to take up longer. So he's flying through them. He's a little bit like a little too good. Like he's 16 and he's able to do all of this. It's a little bit like, okay. But yeah, overall it's going fine. I like Rags as a main character. I think he's really sympathetic. But we haven't gotten like that much about him. So at lunch, I was gonna go to the gym because we have people coming over for dinner, but my mom said, let's go to lunch. So I'm going to lunch with her instead. So I'm like, you know, I need to start going to the gym more. I've like stopped and it's like not great. I need to, because I just have not been feeling great these days. But anyways, I'm gonna go and I will chat with you hopefully later tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna get through 260 pages today, because that's a lot, and we're doing something today, but we're also doing something tomorrow, so we're just like so busy, and I chose like the worst week to try and read 3 full-length novels, 2 of which are over 500 pages. So we'll see how this goes. But if I don't get to Jasmine Throne, it doesn't actually matter, because it doesn't go towards any TBR, any of my TBRs. Like Master of One goes towards the magical readathon, not bookathon, but Jasmine Throne doesn't go towards anything. I'm just having like, I'm reading a bunch of queer fantasy, so I want Jasmine Throne to be a part of it, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna go and I will talk to you all later. Hi everyone, it is 11:15 and I am 269 pages into Master of One. It's going well, I'm enjoying it. It is a standalone, which is really surprising because we're halfway through and I'm not sure like who to root for, because like obviously we root for our main characters, but like, so the reason why they're being collected is because there's a rebellion and the queen wants to like stop the rebellion, and the 6 of them put together create this weapon. And I just like, are we not supposed to root for the queen? But like, I want more from the rebellion side then, if we are supposed to root for the rebellion, because one of our characters is the son of the queen. So like, we're rooting for the queen at the moment, like her side to win. So if we're not supposed to, I need more of that than what we're getting. I'm like, I just can't believe I'm halfway through and this is like it. We're getting like, we've met most of our characters now. And it's just like, it's good, it's going well. I just don't really know like how they're gonna wrap this up in 260 pages, because it's like, I don't know, it's just like too much. Like we haven't even really gotten to like what seems to be like the main plot, but like we have, like I don't really know. I don't understand like how this rebellion's gonna factor into it and how they're gonna go like against the queen and stuff. I kind of wish they did a whole book just finding this, like the 6 of them coming together. And then I wish Rags, it was like a secret that he was one of them. Like I wish like that was a reveal at the end of the first book, and then the second book was them going against the sorcerer. I think that would make more sense, but so far it's all on the line. Like the synopsis laid it all out, and it's not really leaving anything up to the imagination like at all. So it's going okay. Right now, shaping up to probably be like a 3.25, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Not blowing my mind, but I'm having a good time. But I'm gonna go to bed. My first day of working different hours was a definite success. I'm really excited to continue this because I like sleeping in till 8. So I'm gonna go and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Saturday. I did not update you yesterday, but I did finish Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. I finished it yesterday. I just finished it late. And I was like, you know what? I just filmed my Fairy Loot unboxing for August. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait and hold off updating it until tomorrow because I'm home alone and I can kind of just talk about it without worrying. I wish this was a series. I think they could have done so much more with the story and the characters if it wasn't just one and done. So a lot of stuff happened before the start of this book that I think should have been its own book. Like, a lot of stuff happened. There was a revolution, there was, or like a revolt, there was, or an uprising, there was like a fight, there was like, our main character Rags is like trying to find this treasure. Like, all this stuff happens that we miss out on some nice action and character development and world building. So here's what I would have done. The first book should have been Rags looking for treasure and finding the Fae Prince by the end of it, right? Nice story arc. He hears about treasure and in the end he finds a Fae Prince. In between chapters, I think there should have been stories of the Fae Prince before he was put to sleep, which was 700 years ago. And so you don't realize, like, you don't understand why we're getting his chapters until the very end when Rags finds him. I think our main prince character should have been at the court. So he is like sequestered away because he is crippled. I think he should have been at the main court and became friends with the Duchess character whose family was the main family in this uprising. And she kind of uses him as a spy. And he gets close to the main magician or sorcerer in this and finds out what he's planning. By the end, he knows what he's planning. The uprising happens and he kind of like didn't realize, I think he shouldn't have realized like that there was an uprising, but his mom like sends him away because he was so close with the Duchess whose family started the uprising. Now, our main soldier character who ran away, I think he should have been involved with the revolution from the start because he's the one that gets the revolution involved and connected to our main characters. And so I think he should have been getting involved in that. So when he betrays his queen by not going against the Duchess's family, he will have been close to them and would have known them and would have been like, okay. And like, so he wasn't going to fight them. And then he deserted and just went to the rebels and like fought with them. That's basically all our characters. And I think that that's what should have happened, honestly, because it was just... it all just happened too conveniently and too easily in this book, where I think the first book should have been basically what happened off screen. And then this book being Rags and the prince are caught by the sorcerer and are forced to find the other people who come together to create this Fae relic that will then like destroy their opposition, basically. And then the third book is that, so the second book is them all coming together and creating this Fae relic, and then the third book is them fighting back against the queen and the kingdom. I think it would have given us more world building because honestly there is zero world building in this. There's no explanation for the magic. It has to do with mirrors, but hell if I know what it is. If there, nothing is explained in this. Like, it's just like, you're just kind of like reading along trying to piece things together. And I think if this had been a trilogy, I think it would have worked so much better. We would have actually known like why like the queen is bad. Like why don't we want the queen and her kingdom to rule? I don't know. Like, they seem fine. Like, why are the rebels any better? I don't know. Like, we barely get anything from the rebels. And it's just like, yeah, the queen is like making this weapon to fight her enemies. Of course she is. Like, we created the atomic bomb. Like, why, like, you know, it just like didn't make me think that they were any worse than, like, why are they corrupt? Why should we be rooting for the rebels? I don't know. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was just like, okay, it doesn't seem like the rebels would be any better. We got barely anything from them. And then it ends very open-ended. Like, I'm just like, what? But I was like looking on Goodreads and it's not saying it's the first book in the series. There isn't a sequel like announced by either of the authors. And I'm just like, okay, like, it just was so disjointed and it should not have been a standalone because it's not long enough to correctly explore anything. By the end, I didn't care about like any of the characters, didn't care about the plot, didn't care about the world. It's barely queer, like barely. There's a couple scenes of Rags being like, oh, the Fae Prince is so hot, and then they kiss like once at the end, and that's it. And I was just like, okay, great. There is one woman main character, and she's not, yeah, she's a pretty main character, like, and she's cool. I like Innes a lot, but like, two female authors, at least I think they identify as female. They are married, which is so cute. But yeah, so I think the two authors identify as women, and they just write a bunch of men, and they're just so bland, and it just was unmemorable. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Nothing really stuck out to me about this. I really think it could have been a great trilogy. Maybe not all of them over 500 pages, but like maybe shorter books, but a trilogy where the first book is what happens before this book, because a lot of stuff happens that I think we should have been privy to, and then the second book is basically this book, and then the third book is them actually defeating the Empire or whatever. So it was okay. I think so much more could have come from it, and I'm really bummed. But now the next book I'm going to pick up is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. It's 513 pages, which is crazy because it feels so much heavier. Okay, no, it's 533 pages, so it's almost the exact same page amount as Master of One, but it feels heavier and bigger, but I'm excited. This is sapphic, and it's about a princess and a handmaid who, the princess is basically being put down by her brother, like drugged and like kept like really like barely awake, and I don't really know why. But then her maidservant was forced to disavow her birthright and power because of something she did in her past. I think they fall in love. I have not really heard anything about this. I know Reagan from Prue's Project read it and enjoyed it. She has a reading blog about it, but I didn't want to I didn't want to be influenced by her opinion before reading this, because I am really hoping to love it. Now, I did forget to mention Master of One did go towards Illyrian for the magical readathon prompt, which is like the creature that you want to be, which are basically like vegetarian vampires. I think they like look like vampires and they act like vampires, but they don't drink blood. And that was to read a book with either crows on the cover or a red cover, and Master of One has red on the cover. Jasmine Throne does not go towards anything for either of the readathons. I just have a couple days, and I was like, I read 3 queer fantasies this week, so I was like, might as well just pop another one on. But I am pretty pumped to read this. I don't have anything going on today. It's like, what, 11:46. I have to wait for our Airbnb guests to arrive, so I'm not really doing anything. So I'm going to go downstairs and read it. Now, I kept meaning to mention something about Lesson in Vengeance and just kept forgetting, so I'm going to say it now. A Lesson in Vengeance, I did enjoy it. I feel like the proofreading was not great because there were some wrong things. Like, our main character goes to an antique store with the love interest, and like she sees these marbles, and she talked about how it reminded her of her grandmother's beach house and how there were marbles there, and she always loved like playing with them. But then like later when she was talking to someone else, she was like, oh, we're going to visit my grandmother because she's dying soon. Our main character thinks, oh man, I never met any of my grandparents. And I was like, what? And I thought maybe it had to do with her being an unreliable narrator. I was like, okay, maybe this is going to be something. I was like, maybe like she's just so deluded, maybe something happened, you know, whatever. But no, it was just never brought up again. But then she even saw the marbles and like thought about it, or she saw like something that the girl bought from, oh, my battery's flashing, but she saw something that the girl bought from the antique store and like thought about the marbles. And I was like, okay, so how is this not caught by anyone? Like literally, stuff like that just so annoys me. But I'm gonna go and charge my camera, and I will talk to you once I've made progress in the Jasmine Throne. Hi guys, I'm very overexposed. I know, I'm like, there we go. Okay, that's better. It is Sunday evening. I have read 176 pages of the Jasmine Throne. This weekend has been a little busy with the US Open finals, both women's and men's. both of which were pretty crazy. Really great. I feel like the moral of the US Opens was a new generation has arrived. And I'm so excited to see what happens with all these winners. I've got a puppy here with me. But that did mean less reading. I also watched Braveheart for the first time ever last night. I knew what happened in the end because like history, but it's interesting being related to the bad guy. I was like, oops, my ancestor did that. But overall, this is okay. I think there's too many point of views. There's like, so far we've gotten like 5 or 6. I don't know, like I know obviously our 2 main characters are supposed to be Malini and Priya, but I feel like after page 100, we have barely gotten anything from them. So this is about a princess who refuses to be sent to the pyre by her king brother, who's like a religious fanatic, and so he locks her in this tower. And our other main character is a maidservant for like the Duchess, whose that's her tower. And she has a run-in with the princess, and the princess requests that she becomes her maidservant. And so like they've had a few scenes together as Priya is her maidservant, but like I need more, especially if I'm supposed to start like wanting them together. I know I'm only 170 pages through, but like I had kind of hoped to at least have them, I don't know, more in together. Because ever since they like became a pair, we have gotten so few chapters of either of their point of views. It's like really disappointing. But it's okay. I think like the overall religious fanatic plot is interesting, but I feel like, and then there's like a rebellion, obviously, of course there is. And it's just kind of like, I feel like either they're giving too much away while not explaining enough, or I don't know. I don't know like how I'm feeling about it, because I'm not really confused. There's like no confusion in me. So I guess it's just, I feel like they're giving too much away. Like I feel like she is laying, I think it's a she, honestly. I think she is laying all of her cards on the table way too soon, because it's like, there's no surprise. There's nothing left to the imagination. We know everything about everyone, and it's just kind of like, it's just laying it bare. And I kind of wish, because now there's like nothing to like really entice me to keep going. Like I don't really care about any of our characters. We haven't really been given like a lot of motivation to really be like invested in them. So I'm just kind of going through the motions. Now I do realize I'm not that far in, but I'm far enough out of a 530 page book that I should be like invested and like wanting to read. But honestly, I'm just like not really wanting to pick it up. If I don't finish it tonight, which honestly it would be amazing if I did, I can take tomorrow and read it, and that'll be part of this week's vlog. I only have 2 books on my TBR next week, and that is Crave and Empire of the Vampire. Empire of the Vampire I've read 400 out of like the 700 and something pages, because I got an e-arc on NetGalley, and I loved it, and I am so excited to pick it up. And then Crave, I feel like it's going to be like a fast-paced, angsty YA vampire romance, and who doesn't fly through those? It's long, but I feel like I'm gonna be fine. So if I don't finish this tonight, which honestly I really don't think I will, I'll try and finish it tomorrow. Hi guys, it is 10:20, and I am 200 pages away from the end of this. So I am on page 335, and I'm enjoying it. It definitely like really hit, like literally right after I updated you, and as soon as I started reading, it really like, stuff is happening. We've gotten a lot of Priya and Malini. Yeah, Malini. I'm into them. I'm very excited. I'm like really happy. I'm definitely enjoying this. I'm surprised because it seems like Reagan, from like her wrap up, she liked the beginning a lot more than like this part, and I don't understand that, because the beginning was just like not my favorite, but now I am like so into it. Don't want to put it down. I'm going to try to finish this tonight. I don't want to stay up much past midnight. I stayed up really late these past 2 nights, and I don't want to do that. And so I do want to get like a good night's sleep, but I'm gonna try really hard, because oh man, it's good. I'm really excited. So there's definitely a rebellion plot line. That's like the main plot line, and there's kind of a few factions. There's like the rebels, obviously, there's the kingdom, and then there's another rebel fact. That doesn't sound right. Rebel, like faction. anyways. Is it fact? I feel like that's not correct, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So really excited to see what happens here. Really pumped, and I will talk to you hopefully once I finish this. Hi guys, it is 12:02 and I just finished the Jasmine Throne, and I really did enjoy it. It was really good. I like where everything went in the end. I think it all made sense. I just really liked it. It's between a 4, it's between like 4 to a 4.5. It's in that range. Really good. I did have issues with the beginning, obviously, but overall really enjoyed it. Really excited for the sequel. I think this is a trilogy, which honestly it probably could be done in a duology, because I think I saw like the second one has been named, but there's an untitled third. But overall really enjoyed this. It is sapphic. I think that'll grow as the series grows as well. Really good. I highly suggest it. I now need to watch like Prue's projects, like the rest of her vlog where she read this, to see like what her issues were. But honestly, I liked it the more it went on. The last 200 pages were awesome. So really happy I read this. But I better wrap up this week. I realize I don't have the other 2 books with me, but the first book that I finished was The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagoner, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. And then I finished The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, which I gave a 4 to a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry went towards Becca's Bookoblathon to read a cute book. The cover is very cute, very pretty. And then for the Magical Readathon, it went towards Urban to read a book set in a city. And then and then Lesson in Vengeance went towards, I can't remember if it went towards anything in Becca's Bookoblathon. It might have been for like LGBTQ plus rep. But then for Magical Readathon, it went towards like the country that I want to live in. And that is to read A Dark Academia, because it's like the underground library one. And then Master of One went towards the person or creature that I want to be, which is like the vegan vampire. And it is to read a book with either crows on the cover or a red cover. And it was red. And then Jasmine Throne didn't go towards anything. It just fit the theme of the week. But I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.